And now, for our last participants of the day, we have Zeina Faye NIANG, Nora KANINI, and Osadebawem DANIEL. They will be presenting their project called Is Prevention Better Than Cure?, which seeks to answer this question through a medical, historical, and environmental perspective.
Hello, my name is Nora.
And my name is Zeina.
And my name is Joy.
And today we'll be debating the question, is prevention better than cure?
Prevention is better than cure is often a phrase often attributed to the Dutch philosopher Erasmus. And today we're going to see just how valid this statement truly is and through 3 fields of study:
Medicine,
history,
and environment.
First, we'll start with medicine. To understand the question, we need to look at what is cure. Sorry. Well, once again, we will be starting with medicine. And to understand the question, we will need to look at what cure is. Well, cure is a substance that stops an illness or condition. And some of you may be wondering, what's the difference between treatment and cure? Well, the difference between these two is that some diseases can be stopped while others can't. And those that can't need treatment to keep them under control. And some benefits of cure are that it gives hope to people with medical issues, and it restores health to a person. And some problems with cure is that some diseases tend to return, and also it's not accessible to everyone because not everyone has health insurance. Nevertheless, these problems can be solved by reducing cost and improving insurance coverage. What is prevention? Well, prevention in the field of medicine is the action taken to decrease the chances of getting a disease or condition. Because no one likes to deal with medical problems in the future, so prevention helps them achieve this. And it does this using 4 methods: primordial prevention, primary prevention, secondary prevention, and tertiary prevention. What is the importance of cure? Well, the importance of cure is that it aims to discover health issues before they become real problems. And it's also very helpful for people with chronic diseases. It helps them live a normal life. The problem with prevention is that not everyone has the pleasure or luxury of living a preventive health, lifestyle. And also not everyone has access to preventive health care because of lack of resources, for example, in undeveloped countries. Some benefits of prevention is that it increases life expectancy, and it's very important for the future sustainability of the society, and it also helps avoid high medical bills. Now let's look at an example.
which is the Black Death in the 14th century Europe. A little bit of background information. The Black Death was an epidemic of the bubonic plague caused by a bacterium called Yersinia pestis. It was transmitted through fleas which infected black rats and then humans in its 3 different versions. The plague claimed over 20 to 25 million lives in its 5-year span, and this lack of population resulted in devastating results for society. Labor efficiency plummeted, and agriculture came to a complete stop, resulting in the economy becoming poorer. Governmental activities ceased, and towns were left deserted as their populations fled elsewhere. And of course, there were the remaining survivors who had to deal with the trauma and had to find the cure. In talks of prevention, critics suggest that the plague could have possibly been prevented with rodent control and proper hygiene, as they were both lacking at those times. However, one must consider that technology was not as advanced as it is today, with the bacterium only being identified centuries later, which poses the question of prevention even being a possibility in certain situations. One can also ask whether prevention would have been beneficial, because there were some benefits in the situation. The survivors of the plague claimed the possessions of the deceased, which created a social change, as the poor were now rich. Landlords had to decrease their rents to keep their tenants, and workers started demanding higher pay for their work, which raised the minimum wage. There were also many changes in social society as language, manners, and fashion. Now, considering the main statement, in history it becomes a bit complicated because if we prevent one event in history from happening, there is a chance that we are also preventing the subsequent events and the benefits from occurring as well.
And lastly, I will talk about how prevention would have been so effective in the field of environment. It is no secret that the Earth has been suffering as a result of pure neglect over centuries. Excessive use of nefarious utilities have caused various environmental issues. Some of the methods include deforestation, which is the removal of trees to allow something other than forest. Rising sea levels, which is caused by the melting of the icebergs. Global temperature risings would have been rising unusually rapidly over the centuries, and as well as air pollution. Moving on, it's safe to say that I think there's a problem with this. Yes. Okay. Moving on, it's safe to say that we would be in a different state if we acted earlier. In 1886, a Swedish chemist, Svante Arrhenius, discovered the connection between the greenhouse effect as well as the climate change. And even more recently, in the 70s, it's been proven that it was caused by the said effects. However, the prediction predestined to controversial topic and weren't heeded. Now is the time to do something about it. Today, now that we are aware of what a possible future would look like if things don't change, we can now take measures to alleviate the grave situations. While we can't prevent consequences from occurring, it's still possible to act now in a way that will guarantee a better future. And so, speaking of changing our ways, speaking of changing our ways, here's a few things we can do to prevent future calamities from happening. First, we can reduce our global footprint by monitoring CO2 emissions. We can also use and implement some geoengineering tactics to help counteract the effects of global warming. And as always, with unity there is strength. And as always, with unity, there is strength. One small action goes a long way if everyone does it.
So, is prevention better than cure? With the help of our biology teacher, we managed to hold a small survey asking some students whether they think prevention is better than cure. With 44 participants, 21 said yes, while 23 said no.
We collected some opinions from outsiders, and if you are interested, please do not hesitate to ask after the presentation. Thank you.
In conclusion, with this analysis, we can say that yes, prevention is better than cure.
Prevention also saves time, money, and effort in the long run. As well as, and though the cure has its pros, like learning from mistakes, it's too risky and too costly.
Prevention is not possible in every situation, but it's encouraged in every situation that it can take place. I want to say special thanks to our teachers and students, and also from our family members and friends, and also Mrs. Lara. She was very helpful. Thank you. Yeah, that's the end of it. Thank you.
There we are. It's over. You've done it. How was it?
It was nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it really
nerve-wracking.
was.
Yeah.
And though you've been dancing on stage,
I was just nervous because I had to shake off the,
Shake off the stress.
Yeah.
Take it off, I guess.
but before starting, just wanted to say that we liked your dynamic. Actually, it was.
Thanks.
nice to see.
Thank you.
So which bit was more nerve-wracking, the presentation itself or the chat with the jury afterwards?
The presentation
Yeah,
itself,
itself,
yeah.
Presentation,
Okay.
especially with the clicker.
Oh, the click off.
What happened?
You would just click and it would just, I don't know, skip a few slides. You have to look back and...
And then you weren't paying attention, so they would have to tell you, shout it out.
Zeina, please.
The good thing is like you were well prepared, and then like you could bounce on it, so it was okay. And the jury questions then were alright.
Yeah, they were
That was actually
Usually
nice.
it's
Yeah, it was
complete opposite. People say, yeah, the presentation was okay, and then the jury, like, it was nerve-wracking. And
I know, for
They
me
made
was-
it really comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Sure. Well done, well done, well done. How long did the three of you know each other?
Wow. Me and her for like almost 6 years. Yeah,
Us, probably 3-4 years
Yes,
now.
yeah.
3 years.
Yeah.
How did this project come about?
Well, at first we all had because we had to discuss a topic, and so we all brought different topics to the table, and she discovered this question, and at first we had to think about it, because we were like, oh, is that something we really want? And then we discovered that in each of our separate lives, we've all kind of had that question come up, because we all have different experiences in which that question has come up. For example, for me, I'm a patient of territory prevention because I have a chronic disease. So this question was really always in my mind, could I have prevented this, and from here, where do I go from, because there's no cure. So for me, I really found it interesting, and that's why I did recommend that we do it. Yeah.
There was one slide where you said that some people said that no answered the question no. So they thought that cure was better than prevention. What do you think made them? Why would they think that?
Honestly, we asked, the students that we ask are younger students. And I think the reason why they think that, the cure is better, because one, the answer is already there. And they think that maybe having to find it, you'll learn a lesson, something valuable. Yeah, I think that's why.
Yeah. Also because of COVID, like one of the judges said, because we asked the question during COVID times, and they said everyone would really just want to get this over with and just find the cure, because it's a whole process. We had the vaccines, we had the mask, we had the quarantine, and all of this is to prevent it from becoming worse. But if we ask them now, everyone just wants to cure it and move on with their life. So that's why a lot of people said.
Yeah. And so it's a unique situation and so on.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, interesting. Really good.
On a more personal side, how was it to work the three of you on one same project?
It was easy, it was smooth sailing, because we all get along.
Yeah, we all get along.
Yeah.
It's a normal everyday thing for us.
Yeah.
How did you separate the tasks, for example?
So
You were the boss?
she kind of brought all of this together, but I'd say Joy took more of the literature part because she likes writing and reading, and Nora is more of a presentation, wants control of how the structure is, and I just like doing videos.
Yeah. So
Which sounds already good.
yeah. No, she did the paper, the excellent paper. She did the amazing, entertaining video, and I just did the presentation. So it was all equally distributed. No one did more than anyone else.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Was it very time-consuming?
Not really, because we are very good at managing our time, and we also have a lot of free periods.
Yeah.
So
That's it.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, but it is a matter of organisation, being organised. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I heard a will to come back next year with a new project.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to see, because next year's our last year.
Yeah, we have good
Oh.
So we'll see what happens.